What's up, guys? This is Al, and in today's episode I'm going to be talking about why handymen, contractors, plumbers, electricians are extremely hard to get a hold of. When you call them, they don't call back. When you leave a voicemail, they don't reply back. Why in the world is that? They charge so much money, but yet they are so hard to get a hold of. Well, in today's episode I'm going to be telling you two different perspectives why that happens. One from a homeowner side, like myself. I used to hate handymen and I had that problem. And the other side from an actual handyman. I'm being in the business for several years, and now I understand why that is. So, with that said, let's get started. Alright guys, so before I became a handyman, I was completely the opposite. I would not even pick up a screwdriver to work in my own home. And one day I had a flood in my kitchen, so I needed work done. My cabinets got ruined, the flooring got ruined, drywall needed to be replaced, a lot of work. So I called a contractor, a licensed contractor, to give me an estimate. The estimate they gave me was close to $30,000. This was many years ago, guys, many years ago. So the prices were a lot cheaper back then, but even then they were more expensive than I could afford. So what I decided to do was to actually just split off the project into smaller little projects. You know, fix the drywall first, then the cabinets, and the floors, paint, and all that. So I decided to hire out everything individually myself. As I got money, I would get one thing done. But one thing that I ran across was when calling handymen, contractors in general, most of them would not pick up the phone. It was extremely hard to get a hold of somebody. Extremely hard. And I would leave voicemails and I would just never hear back. And that actually, I started to resent contractors at the time because they were so expensive and yet hard to get a hold of. But one thing I didn't realize is, now that I realize, is every time that I talk to somebody, they will give me a price. Well, with my dumb, naive homeowner attitude and mentality back in the day, I thought they were ripping me off. So every time they gave me a price, I will try to get an even lower price. They will say $500. I would say, can you do it for $350? And guess what? They ghosted me. I did not understand this at the time. By now, I understand it. And that is actually a red flag for me nowadays. If a homeowner calls me and they start trying to be cheap, I usually don't waste my time with them. And that's one of the reasons why contractors will not call you back. Because most contractors are extremely busy and they have their own prices. They charge what they think they are worth, especially the good ones, the ones that are going to show up. So if you're cheap and you try to get an even lower price, we take it as an insult. And we're just not gonna waste our time and reply back to you. Now, I'm not talking about just a few dollars, guys. If somebody gives you an estimate for $1,000 and then all of a sudden you want to pay them, $300-400, most contractors are gonna ghost you. So that's reason number one. But anyways, so it was so hard for me to find somebody to work at my house that I decided to go on YouTube and start doing it myself. Because even the guys that actually booked appointments to come over to my house on the day of they actually had to show up, they will send me a text and they will get the work illness. Magically on the day they had to show up, they will get sick and then they will send me a text and saying that they couldn't show up. That happened many times. It's so funny because you will think that was just, every once in a while, but no, it happened all the time. Finally, I actually got a hold of a fellow veteran. And then this guy showed up to my house. At this point, I was just sick and tired. And then I was just paying whatever they asked. And then I just wanted to get the job done. So this guy, quoted me $450 to install 7 recessed lights in my kitchen. And then extend a junction box to install another switch. At the time, I thought that was super high. But at this point, I was done. I didn't care. And on top of that, this guy was a veteran, so I didn't really care, if he was charging me a little more because, he's a fellow veteran, so I was helping a battle buddy out. But anyway, so he does the work, and then just watching him, I'm like, holy crap, that's super easy to do. And then I realized how hard it was for me to find somebody to work at my house to begin with. So that's what actually motivated me to get into this business. I started going on YouTube, and then I ended up doing most of the work in my kitchen myself. So, and then the funny thing is, years later, I sent the guy a text thanking him, telling him that I got into this business because of him, because he inspired me to actually do it. Now, that's the homeowner side. Let's talk about the handyman side. I am a one-man operation, guys. I do everything in my business. I do the work, I do the advertising, I do the customer service, I do everything, right? So when I'm working, guys, I just simply do not have the time to pick up the phone. My phone will ring, and if I have a cabinet on my shoulder resting against the wall trying to install it in a kitchen, there is no possible way for me to pick up the phone physically. A lot of you guys think that my phone rings, I pick up the phone, and then I see that it's a potential customer, and then I say to myself, oh, I have enough work, screw that customer, I'm just gonna ignore it. No, I don't do that. That's stupid. But anyways, yes, physically I am unable to pick up the phone most times. That is the main reason why I do not answer most of my calls. Now let's talk about the voicemails. Most people who call will leave a voicemail. I don't know about you guys. I'm sure the ones who work from home, who do customer service, will understand what I'm about to say. But if you pick up your phone and you check your voicemail, and you have like 42 voicemails to check, you had a long ass day working your ass off, you didn't take any breaks, you didn't even go to the bathroom, you're driving home and you see 42 voicemails, and tomorrow and the next week you are already fully booked. Are you gonna freaking call every single person that left a voicemail? Guarantee most of you will not. So stop judging me. So that's one of the reasons why we do not pick up the phone. We are extremely busy, especially the guys that actually work, the ones that actually show up and do the work they say they will. We are extremely busy. On top of that, there is a shortage of us out there. The ones that actually do okay work and actually show up and guarantee it. So we get more calls than the guys that just show up just to, take your money and then be gone. So that's the other reason why most handymen do not call you back. Now, a lot of you guys told me, one of my videos that I released a month ago, if business was that good, why didn't you hire a secretary to pick up the phone calls for you? But you have to understand, I do everything in my business. I do the work myself. I was already booked weeks ahead of time. I had enough work that I could handle myself. Why would I hire somebody to give me even more work that I couldn't physically do? Just to tell the customers that I am too busy to pick up their phone calls? That is nonsense. Reason number 2 why I didn't hire somebody to pick up the phone calls for me, well, it's because employees are not cheap. They're expensive. And then I would have had to be responsible for somebody's paycheck every single week. So that's the reason why I didn't hire somebody. But then a lot of you guys said, if business was that good, why didn't you hire more help? Maybe you could have expanded your business. Hire other handymen to do the work for you. You have never had a business in your life. I can tell that. Especially all of you who actually recommended me to do that. For one, I have only been in business for a few years. And that is the fastest way for any business to fail, to expand too quickly. For one, it's extremely hard for me to find reliable helpers. Extremely hard. As of yet, I have not found a single guy that I can actually drop off at a job site and expect them to do everything that I tell him to do. The helper that you see in my videos, he's a great helper. He's been working for me, for a while now. But I have to tell him to do everything. I have to be there. I cannot drop him off and expect him to do something for himself. He doesn't have transportation. He doesn't have tools. He doesn't have the knowledge. So the only reason I hire him every once in a while is to make my day easier. But as of yet, I have not found somebody that I can actually rely to go change a faucet, change a toilet. You know, it's just impossible. It's extremely hard. People don't want to do this type of work. I mean, you're having a hard time finding a handyman to work at your house. Imagine me finding somebody that is gonna do that work every single day, and I can trust to actually do good work. It's extremely hard. That's why I have not expanded. I would rather do the work myself. I know it's done right. I'm the one doing it. I know I will show up. I could not imagine relying on somebody to go to an appointment and then that day they get the work illness, and now all of a sudden I'm gonna have an upset customer because I cannot physically make it there myself because I'm doing other work myself. That's why I have not expanded. It's extremely hard to find reliable people. So, to summarize, the reason most handymen out there do not answer your phone call is because we are working, guys. We are physically unable to pick up the phone. Now, check this out. A lot of you guys think I do this on purpose. But you have to understand, everywhere online where you can find me, I clearly state I will not be able to answer the phone most times. To please send me a text message for a faster response. I reply to my text messages 100% of the time, even if it takes me about a day to reply back. But I reply to all of them. And everywhere online, I clearly state that. Send me a text if you're gonna call. Make sure to understand that it's gonna take me a while for me to get back to you. I have that on my website. I have that on Google Ads. I have that everywhere. So whoever's calling me, they either didn't read the message. But even those who didn't read the message, when they get to my voicemail clearly says, I'm sorry I'm unable to pick up your phone call right now. I am currently working. If you would like a faster response, send me a text message instead. If you would like to leave a voicemail, please give me a few days to reply back to you. Everywhere I advertise, I encourage people to text me. Also, people can go to my website and request a quote through the website. So it's not like they don't know the reasons why I'm not picking up their phone calls. They know. So I don't know what else to tell you guys. Those are the main reasons why we are hard to reach. I promised myself not to become one of them when I got into this business, but unfortunately, I guess I am one of them. Not intentionally. I'm trying to get better. But yeah, now I understand why they don't pick up the phone. Because they are unable to pick up the phone, guys. And, well, at least a few months ago, the demand for handyman contractors in general was super high that, you know, if we're slammed with work every single day, it's just hard to keep up. But anyways, guys, yeah, eventually I probably will expand if I can find somebody reliable enough to do the work for me and I can trust. But until then, you know, I'm trying to get better, pick up the phone calls now, at least to tell people I'm busy, that, you know, I cannot do the work for them. But you know what? Right now, work has slowed down, so I'm not having that issue anymore. But, you know, I'm picking up all my phone calls right now, replying to all my voicemails. So life is good right now. But at least now you understand a few reasons why it's hard to get a hold of contractors. Anyways, if you like my video, don't forget to like it. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Comment below if you have any questions, and I'll see you next time.